So leadership is a process of influencing people by providing purpose, direction, and motivation. So let's talk about direction. Direction is probably what our mind actually naturally goes to when we think about leadership. This is actually getting down to the nitty-gritty, giving the details, getting the assignments, giving the tasks to one's men, right? So this is what leaders have to do. They have to make sure things stay organized. They have to give clear and precise directions to their men. Otherwise, the men are not going to know how to do what they have to do or what they should do. I think a really, really cool example of this is this fellow, Luis Urzua. So Luis was a foreman in a mine in Chile. So he actually was a miner for about 3 decades. He gained a lot of experience, and he had kind of a good reputation of being a leader in the mines. And I'm not sure if you've ever been inside of a mine. I've been inside of a mine a couple of times over the course of my life. They're very, very interesting places. You almost feel like you're on a different planet. The air inside of a mine, it kind of tastes stale. Time seems to be frozen. There's no light. You can't tell what time it is. This is the kind of environment that Luis was very, very familiar with. Now, on August 5th, 2010, this kind of eerily quiet and serene environment of a mine before the men are working, this environment was completely destroyed in an instant. Boom! Kind of just exploding sound. And Luis ordered some of the miners to go examine what was the cause of the sound. And their fears, and any miner's worst fear, was confirmed. There was a cave-in. So now Luis was trapped half a mile underneath the ground with his 32 miners, so 33 in total. And they were stuck. This was a problem. It's amazing how sometimes in life you have just these moments in which, boom, something happens and it's just irreversible. Irreversible damage has been done. And this is a prime example of that happening. These men are stuck. And Luis could tell it was not going to be just a quick fix. They were in this for the long run. It was going to be a long haul operation. And what did Luis do? He was the man in charge. Like literally these 33 men were half a mile away from the rest of humanity, and Luis was in charge. So I want to read a quote from this article from this paper, The Guardian, which kind of details Luis's quick actions and how he maintained organization and how he acted as a leader. So let me read this here. As rescuers spent 16 days in frustrated attempts to drill a rescue hole half a mile down to the trapped men, Urzua also used his training as a topographer to make detailed maps of the miners' underground world. Urzua drew maps, divided the miners' world into a work area, a sleep area, and a sanitary facility. And he used the headlights of the mining trucks to stimulate sunlight in the attempt to provide a semblance of routine to the men's daily lives. Urzua also kept the men on 12-hour work shifts. This is amazing. Luis kept order. He gave directions. He made it clear to his men what needed to be done. This area is going to be for sleeping. This area is going to be for working. This area is going to be for sanitary needs. Okay, you're on the 12-hour shift from here to then. Okay, this is the crew that needs to be doing this. The article also later goes on to detail that at a certain point in the rescue mission, the 33 men had to change where their sleeping area to a new place. And in that new place, there was risk of rocks falling from the ceiling while they were sleeping. So another task that Luis, kind of realized needed to be done and made sure that men were assigned to do it was like kind of scraping off the roof of this part of the mine. And so it's just amazing to see the amount of order that Luis was able to instill. Also really amazing, they were trapped down there, and for the first 17 days, they had to make an emergency food supply, which should have only lasted 2 days, stretch the full 17 days. So Luis kind of put into place that, hey, we're going to have this rationing of this food, that you can only have 2 spoonfuls of fish and like a certain amount of milk every 48 hours. And he made sure that some men were assigned to doing this rationing. So just really an expert job of giving clear directions to his men. Luis was a great example of leadership at its finest.